I'm going to give you a little analysis on Bitcoin and why I think we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin before you know it. When I made a video earlier today, Bitcoin was around 13,000. I can't imagine how many people were buying up Bitcoin at 18 and 19,000 after the week of Thanksgiving out of fear of missing out. And those people are now terrified and they're glued to the media. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are selling at 13, 14, and 15, thinking the downward slide is going to continue. This is why trading bots, real trading bots, like in some of our lending programs, crush the human trader. Emotions. Your emotions are your weakest link to anything in life. Now, people who bought it at 18, 19,000, seen it hit 13, watched the media, watched the YouTubers, and said, oh my God, what if it goes down 50% like they're saying, and they sold. And you know what most people do? They look at the price climbing back up, and then they get fear of making zero, fear of missing out. So they buy back in. They sell low and buy higher. Everyone knows not to do this. But your emotions as a human being are your downfall, whether it comes to relationships, fear, whatever it is. That's what holds you back. This is why humans cannot compete with artificial intelligence, with properly programmed trading bots. And trading bots are real. Now, we don't know if companies like BitConnect or Regal Coin have a trading bot or not. Their story is a different one. But today's platforms, some of them are integrating real trading bots. And you can bet I will be lending with those trading bots. Now, I want to explain something to you. All of us right now in Bitcoin are early adopters. Now, maybe you didn't get in at $485 or $600 like some of us who have been in this game for a long time have. And maybe that's why I have no fear about the price dropping. But you may be in a different position. You may be in a position to create a legacy, to write your own history book. But they want to take that position away from you. Remember, nobody wants you to be rich. Nobody. They want to keep you right where you are. They need sheep to run the machine. How many of you know what critical mass is? It's a term taken from nuclear science. I'm going to show you how it applies to Bitcoin, and I'm going to tell you why I see Bitcoin going to $100,000 per Bitcoin. Yes, for the first time, the Oracle is going to read to you. Critical mass is a sufficient number of adopters of an innovation in a social system so that the rate of adoption becomes self-sustaining and creates further growth. What this means is you get to a breakout point where it gets to a point where it cannot be stopped. It's like a snowball running down a hill, a roller coaster coming down that great descent, a skydiver free falling. You get to a certain speed and acceleration where it takes on a life of its own and it cannot be stopped. Why do you think CME is about to trade futures in Bitcoin? This gives us legitimacy. Let me touch on that in a moment. This term, critical mass, is borrowed from nuclear physics, and in that field, it refers to the amount of a substance needed to sustain a chain reaction. How many of you that were in Bitcoin and cryptos told people what cryptos were and nobody knew? And then if you said Bitcoin to a couple of people, they said, oh, yeah, I know Bitcoin. We're about to get to a stage where your Uber driver is going to tell you about an ICO. Your Uber driver is going to tell you about how he has Bitcoin. Critical mass has happened to many of companies throughout our lifetime. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Reebok. It's happened in network marketing companies like Nu Skin, Herbalife, Amway. If you can make it to critical mass, you can see an explosion. I'm going to read to you a little more. Social factors influencing critical mass may involve size and the level of communication in a society or a subculture. Just as what happened over Thanksgiving, it's going to happen again in Christmas. Families are going to get together, but now you have a different paradigm from what occurred on Thanksgiving. You have people watching CNBC and reading Money Magazine and all this nonsense crap by the talking know-nothing heads. If you're on TV, they say it makes you an expert, huh? Gives you instant credibility. That's crap. Most of these people are out to get headlines. You see it now. Look at some of the YouTuber content titles. Bitcoin in a bubble. Bitcoin gonna crash. Critical mass may be closer to majority consensus, where the most effective position is more often held by the majority of people in society. That is you and I. In this sense, small changes in public consensus can bring swift changes in political consensus due to the majority-dependent effectiveness of certain ideas. This is why Bitcoin is now unstoppable. And you know what's coming next? I'll tell you. The futures are a hedge funds game. And you know my background on Wall Street. When I told you I would do a $400,000 trade in one day, that wasn't for a firm. That was my options contracts. And I would pick a company and I would wait until the day they were going to do earnings. And the day before, I would take a position. And yeah, I would short. I'd short some of them into the ground. And I'd win or lose the next day. But you got to know how to play this game. And my friends, you're no match for Wall Street. And this is why if you're investing in mutual funds and index funds and all that stuff, look, you're a sheep. You're being led. You're part of the herd. What do you want, 10% a year? Or you want 10x? 10x sounds like nothing, but it's 100%. It's 10 times your money in a month. We do that with our lending ICOs. Many of you know me. Right now, we have the fastest growing channel in crypto. Why? Because I'm very different. The Oracle does not play by rules. The Oracle cannot be bought. Nothing in our lifetime, nothing in our history has ever been as exciting and has ever been so disruptive to any government or any economy like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin. And if you're playing in altcoins, you're wasting your time. This is not the time to play with altcoins. There are so many of the over 1,100 cryptocurrencies. There are great platforms like Golem, like Civic. The list goes on and on, IOTA, all of them. But you're sitting there with no control. You're sitting there waiting with no control. You want to wait? Look, the one thing we don't have enough of and the one thing we can't buy no matter how rich we may become is time. Time. You, my friends, listening to this channel right now are early adopters. Critical mass is coming in Bitcoin. It's coming in Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, the CME futures, no matter all the fear and everything, look, nobody knows what's going to happen. Not even the great Oracle. But I know what I've seen. I've seen the statistics. I know how the herd thinks. And I'm on your side. Team us means you and I against the world. The world of crypto is a goddamn hard place. Everyone wants to take your money. Everyone. Well, I have news for you. I don't announce what I hold, but I cannot be bought at any price. And this channel allows me to give back to all of you. And there's nothing, not even school. School is the biggest scam there is. Teachers teach, doers do. I don't care how many diplomas, accreditations you have. Paper is paper. I'll never tell my child this, but I believe that school is only good enough to get you your first job. Unless you have the fire within you, the fire that it takes to stand up through adversity And I've said it many times, and I'll say it again for the new people. You will fall in your life. But when you fall, you remember this. Land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And if you can make it once, you can make it again. And maybe the reason why you're not as rich as you want to be is because you have yet to have a vehicle. Well, my friends, the vehicle is here. The time is here. Opportunity is now. The dot-com bubble was just that, a bubble. But if you were smart, you invested in a technology, the underlying technology, which was the internet itself, not Pets R Us or whatever that stupid crap was, or America Online, AOL. Look, Bitcoin is the underlying technology. Imagine if you had a chance to invest in the internet infrastructure itself. Bitcoin is that infrastructure. Ethereum is another infrastructure. And don't you make the sheepish mistake of buying something because it's cheaper and you could get more. You know why it's cheaper? Because it's worth less. Not worthless, but worth less. You, my friends, must be limitless. Now, I'm going to tell you the future of Bitcoin. The CME futures are nothing to fear. Here's what they are really doing. They are opening the door of legitimacy for cryptocurrency. Look, many of you are asking me about IOTA and all this stupid shit. I don't sit and wait. My money has legs. Your money should have legs. What we do is a 1-month turnaround time. What I'm talking to you now is about a chance to change your life. Now, many of you wish you could get Bitcoin, and maybe you can't afford a whole Bitcoin now. So you're saying, well, if I put in $500, I'm going to get like 0.0000 point whatever of Bitcoin. But for $500, I could buy 1 Ethereum or 2.5 Litecoin. Don't be ignorant. It's not about the price. It's about the underlying asset. It's about the underlying asset. You will never, ever see Bitcoin this cheap again. I promise you. Yeah, we might see 12,000. Look, I remember Bitcoin hitting $1,800 in the summer when Jamie Dimon came out and bashed it. If you don't know who Jamie Dimon is, I may be here to teach you, but you need to open a book and learn yourself. Google Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan. His daughter was buying Bitcoin and he laughed at her. You know what he was really doing? Knocking the price down so he could buy in. Do you know what brought Bitcoin to $19,000? I'll tell you. The excitement of mass accepting of Bitcoin finally. You know, when I first got into Bitcoin, I'll tell you, I have a penthouse on Wall Street. I still have it. I didn't only work on Wall Street. I lived there. And across the street from me, about a block away, there was a storefront years ago. It said Bitcoin. I was like, what the hell is Bitcoin? Years ago, we're talking about. And it was the first exchange for Bitcoin in New York. Do you know what it was? It was a guy on a podium with slips of paper. I sound like we're talking about the Pilgrims and Plymouth Rock. And I'll tell you, they were passing back and forth buy and sell orders, and people would do the exchange right there on their phone. There was no Coinbase back then. There was no Bittrex. There was nothing. That's when I first got into Bitcoin. It looked like some kind of network marketing sales pitch. But I was fearless. You, my friends, need to live without boundaries. Now, don't buy something because look, there are altcoins all over the place, like Funfair. Yeah, put it in CoinMarketCap, Funfair. It's pennies. Look, pennies are not going to make you millions. It's a 1 in a million hit to catch an Ethereum at $9 and run it up to 400. That's not going to happen every day. If you think you missed Bitcoin, you didn't miss Bitcoin. The way to get free Bitcoin is to subscribe to my channel, follow my ICO hits. Look, I see a lot of YouTubers now. selling subscriptions to a private service. You know what? F you. If you couldn't make enough money doing what you do to give away your knowledge for free, you're an idiot. And you're not as big as you claim to be. So you don't need to pay anyone for a subscription service. Giving, whether it's giving birth, giving to charity, philanthropy, or giving to you, is priceless. Now, there are sell walls here coming up. These are nothing. These are people trying to profit off you. When Jamie Dimon created fear, the truth of the matter is if you knew where to look, you knew that JP Morgan was buying Bitcoin. It's true. Do your research. You see what I sit here and do? I research. I have a team of absolutely stunning women that are highly intelligent. They may be beautiful, but beauty is something you're born with. Intelligence is something you cultivate. Are you going to cultivate your intelligence? Or are you going to go and get a marketing degree, which is a real white paper that you can wipe yourself with the next time you're in the bathroom? Now let me get to the point of this video. The CME futures, you know what they are? A gateway to legitimacy. Do you know what's going to happen next? Let me tell you. There's one company now that offers IRAs in Bitcoin. I don't know if they're legit, if they're a scam, but let me tell you what's going to happen when Fidelity, Vanguard, all the big mutual funds, all the big investment firms are offering ETFs, exchange traded funds, index funds on cryptocurrencies, on Bitcoin, because everybody wants Bitcoin. But maybe they don't have 15,000 right now to buy a Bitcoin. But you know what? Maybe they got a mutual fund that they dollar cost average in. Old paradigm. Dollar cost average is silly. But it has its merits for some people. And maybe I speak from a different place. But I was where you were at one time. And I am making this video to give the gift of knowledge. Don't waste your money on subscriptions. Maybe Cliff High is worth $99 to buy one of his reports. That guy has his stuff together. You won't hear me say that about many people. You'll never hear me say that about a YouTuber. You know, when I flip through YouTube, if they have less than 1,000 videos, 1,000 views on a video, I don't even waste my time watching it. Look, you can make a YouTube channel and spew your opinions, but opinions are like a-holes. Everyone's got one. And my saying is, you either got one or you are one. A lot of them are. But look, we're going to keep this PG because I want this to get all over Google and YouTube. And you, if you want to help friends and family, you show them this video. Because what's coming behind this that nobody's intelligent enough to talk about are the mutual funds, the index funds, the exchange traded funds on cryptos, on Bitcoin. That is what will take us to $100,000 of Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not going straight up. There'll be ups and downs. You turn off your emotions, turn off your computer, put what you can, and you hold on, you fasten your seatbelt. And if you look at it every day and you stare at charts like this, you will be manipulated out. The market is against you. Nobody wants you to be rich. My only fear is that all of these cryptocurrency wallets are centralized. Yep. And governments, it's already started to happen. Britain is already talking about it. They're going to go after these companies like Ledger, Trezor, KeepKey. And they're going to force them to impose KYC, not Kentucky Fried Chicken. Know your customer. In order for you to open a Ledger account, it may come the day where you have to show your identification. Secrecy will be over. So, get your Bitcoin. Hold your Bitcoin. My next video is one you should absolutely not miss. It's going to talk about lending platforms. And there is one that I may talk about lending. One that I've knocked in the past, because I made so much money on their ICO and I took the money and ran. But there's something going on. There's something I want to talk about in Devore. Yeah, they were upset with me. You know, we'll keep this for the next video, but you need to stay tuned. And as always, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's go get that money, baby.